Hello.
Muffle your tailpipe.
All right. Everybody
Did Andy
hooked
get
in?
booted off Twitter?
Holy shit.
Just
Let's
for a
just
week.
Start.
Yeah, I did get. In anticipation of what we found out today, I heard about Hope Hicks, and then I think Rich V posted something, and I wrote "Die Trump, die," but I forgot to. I capitalized Trump, and I should have. If that's what I use as the loophole. Little T. I'm not talking about the guy. Talking about the verb. Yeah. So I woke up. I woke up to the news.
So this is just a semantics thing or a grammar thing?
Well, it really wasn't like I didn't make a separate tweet and said that, or I didn't jump on somebody I don't know's thing. It was just, it's one of those algorithms. If you tell somebody to die,
you think that hate violent speech matters where you put it? It's not like I responded to Trump. I was just putting it on my own page.
The Pride Boys would be safe if they put a comma between proud and boys.
Right. It was like
do whatever they want.
It was like burn baby burn, but I was talking to the disease. I wasn't encouraging a group to go kill something. And that was before we heard the news, and so this morning I woke up and I already knew the news. It's like when I said I knew Larry was moving, I just dreamed that he had it, and I woke up and he had it, and I was kicked off for commenting.
Like you had like a psychic intuition that Trump was going to come down with COVID.
I wasn't a good student in science, but I trusted that was accurate. I didn't get it, but I didn't go, fuck this. This is bullshit.
You're equating an intuition with science?
Yeah.
No, he's saying that.
Horrible student in science.
No, he's saying that I'll defend him. He's saying that he heard Hope Hicks had it, and he knew Trump was with Hope Hicks. So
and
his intuition
and she's the only hot chick besides his daughter around there, so of course he's going to be hovering all over.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
Good. Yeah. It's just, it may be the last happy day.
That's exactly it. I was thinking the same thing. It might turn to nothing. It'll probably turn into nothing, but this day is a day we just need to enjoy. It's like when you find out the star recruit has signed for your college. You're like, you can just dream of championships, even if he ends up turning out to be a fucking flash in the pan.
How about this one? How about this when the Celtics signed Lynn Bias?
Yeah, right.
Shit, Larry Bird, Lynn Bias.
Yes, exactly.
I think it's more like when I was in the Army and we had to run for a long time and I didn't want to anymore, and I knew I was going to look ridiculous for falling out, so I just pretended I hurt my leg. I think that's what's happening, maybe. Like, I lost the election because I got sick. I couldn't campaign through the whole last part of it,
Yeah.
So you think, Chad, you think that Trump is doing the Rodney Dangerfield broken ulna? Oh, it's broken. I can't.
I think it's a possibility. That's all I'm saying.
I think the excuse part is accurate. I think from his deathbed, like, when people get a hold of their loved ones with their last thing and they hold up the phone or whatever, Trump will be saying, that's why I did bad in the debate. It says you get mental, fatigue and stuff. And I did, he'll be using it as an excuse for his failures.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to plan his excuses, though. That's the thing. His making excuses is so organic and generic and comes from such a deep place in his heart that he'll just make up the excuse on his deathbed. So he doesn't need to plan. It's still possible. Everything is possible. Everything. It could be that he just wants to fake it so that he can come back strong and show that it's bullshit and that nothing can fucking stop him.
Yeah.
And that would be a baller move.
Was that Bill Russell that came back from like the dressing room?
Yeah, and against the Knicks or some shit like that in the 70s.
Like legendary, Rodney Dangerfield. Yeah, like
so
fucking legendary
Trump's
comeback.
gonna come limping out of Air Force One, like hacking and wheezing,
but then fighting Southpaw.
Make it up to the podium for one of his rallies, and then get everybody going.
Yeah,
he can fucking do it.
Yeah.
I just tweeted this out. If Donald Trump is willing to die for this, I'm willing to call him a hero. I mean, it's negotiable to me. I'm willing.
See, now that's
So-
a safe tweet, Andy.
yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Well, yeah.
Thanks.
So they're a little more liberal over there in the Facebook. I just was like, but I've trusted the science in this thing, and I was at a weed shop and they were talking about this event that's going on, and we were all masked up because we're liberals and libertards, weed smokers and shit, and there were people were real happy. The 3 people working the weed store were real happy, and I was the only one in there, and we talked about it, and the one lady pretty much said that she'd wished this on him, and I said I've never wished this on him. I just wanted the science to do what the science is supposed to do. And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, man, that's all. It's like a guy can't flaunt it and get a lot of people killed and then not catch it, it can't happen that way.
Mhm.
So science did what science did finally, finally
Yeah.
got
I just realized that hopes and prayers can mean a different thing than what I used to think it meant. It works both ways.
well,
Yeah.
if you could count psychic energy, I think that's, if psychic energy is prayer, then
Just imagine being the president and announcing that you have acquired a deadly, possibly deadly virus, and then just watching the fucking celebration that happens across the country that you lead. Like, that's gotta fucking hurt.
I
Well,
man.
hold
might
on a
be-
second. This is the guy that thinks he won
I know.
the debate last week.
I understand.
He
Listen,
sees
I
things
understand.
through rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
He's batshit crazy. You're totally right. But still, he's got a. That's an input that
Yeah.
that crazy brain is going to have to do a lot of juggling to make fit his ego. Like, they're only celebrating
if
because
he goes
of what?
in the hospital, I'm gonna fly out there and start a conga line in front of wherever they take him. Dun, 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 dun. That's what I wanted to do all day. I was like, looking around. It's like, where's the conga line, man? I never want to get in a conga line, but today I want to start one.
I told you I joined Facebook from hometown just kind of.
Is it me?
Hmm.
No, it's Chad.
I think
Oh,
it's
just
Chad.
Chad is checking. I thought it was just me checking out, so I just got real quiet.
Mhm.
Oh, see,
We-
fuck.
Yeah, look at him.
Yeah,
Did you see
look at
the
him go.
South Park episode?
I have not seen that yet.
fuck.
no.
The
Right,
pandemic one?
Yeah, pandemic one.
saw
Chad
part
Shanks
of it.
doing Cartman does school. He goes in and he freezes up and then just puts up. a thing.
Oh, yeah.
He does a little musical number. It's
That's
pretty
pretty
good. It's
Yeah, of course.
I got to watch it a
It's-
second time, but it was delightful the first time.
Those guys
Yeah.
are the best.
The side story is Butters wants to go to Build-A-Bear, and his dad's like, "We're not going to Build-A-Bear, Butters. It's a pandemic." There's Chad. We
There
lost
he
you
is. He's
for
back.
Yeah, I did.
He went.
Sort
Chad
of.
had COVID for a minute.
yeah.
Now he's
I
back.
got
Gotta quarantine.
I got a cold.
Tested
just a minor
positive for
cold.
bad signal.
Oh,
Yeah, this is a
fuck.
fucking fun day, man. I mean, the guy probably will recover and has superior genes, and he's in good shape,
Healthiest man alive.
But I liked I heard him not too long ago, and he's talking about he sounds like a spring break dude on the beach in Florida. And that's what's so great about him. I mean, that's one of the only things that's fucking wonderful about him is that he sees himself as it's a whole different fucking person than he's like that movie where the ugly chick was cute. Remember that? Like the dude had like the beer goggles on, Hank. Anyway,
Hal. Shallow Hal.
Shallow
yeah,
Hal.
Shallow Hal. That's like Trump sees himself. He's like the dude in spring break drinking beers, banging the bitches, going, "Hey man, yeah, there he is." He's like, "Man, I ain't got to worry about no coronavirus. That only affects the old people in bad shape that eat at McDonald's and are fucking 300 pounds overweight. That ain't gonna affect my shit." Yeah, that dude, man, he is the dude. That's
We
the dude.
planned this for almost 2 weeks. We're not going to give up our reservations.
The Budget 6 motel will keep your money if you don't show up. Oh, sure, man. Fucking dude, man, this party. Woo! The only thing that's ever been super about that guy is his spreader status. he, and I haven't even hit. I got up this morning when I heard that, and then I was banned from Twitter, and I just went to the bar because I knew I had to go old school and be entertaining in person.
Bother people at the bar.
Yeah, I had to make some laughs, and I did that. Everywhere I've been, in my opinion, I've done good.
As soon as it happened, I mean, I got home last night, so we'll get to this.
Last night.
The show last night, but I got home last night and found out about it, and then I was up for a couple of hours just enjoying Twitter and life in general. But as soon as I got up this morning, I'm like, yeah, we just need to talk to Andy.
Yeah.
So, and then when I found out you were banned from Twitter, I was like, he is going to be a fucking caged animal right now.
Believe me, as a recent T-shirt salesman, I realized the iron is like this is the kickoff of my new store. What's John Taffer gonna think?
I also want to give a shout out to Carrie Mitchell. I took the headphones off and unplugged my mic so that she could hear. She's sitting over there.
Carrie.
She made a drink for me.
I was thinking of Carrie Mitchell while I'm out doing, my weed's gonna have a little bit of fucking woodsy aftertaste, but I'm cutting a lot of big herb, and I'm gonna bring it out to the Branson, Missouri. I'm challenging Yakov Smirnoff to an American versus Russian joke-off for peace.
It's finally happening.
What a country! And I'm gonna say, what a country!
What?
Booyah, America!
Now you say it like what a burger.
They're actually sponsoring the event out there in Branson.
The Whataburger, What a Country tour.
Yeah, it's to raise awareness about Erdheim, Chester, and some of the rain damage that happened out there in Branson a few months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this. I was actually trying to a bodily cleanse of alcohol until the big Branson super spreader event. But when today's news broke, I had to break that for
You know what song, for whatever reason, was in my head, and I just kept, somebody once told me the world.
Smash Mouth?
Yeah, well,
Walking in the
Smash
Sun?
Mouth. Yeah, well,
they killed those guys at that show in Sturgis, Shaylee, with COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Oh, and then do you guys see the? I know Chad hasn't yet, but the event where they're welcoming the new shoe-in to be a Supreme Court justice. And they're all getting at each other's faces.
This is when, that's when it happened.
Uh-huh.
Because it just got announced too that just watching the new people announce who has it has been glorious.
Yeah.
The president of Notre Dame University has it, and he tested negative when he got to the White House, and then he was there because Amy Coney Barrett went to Notre Dame. So it was at the unveiling of her with all the Republicans. Mike Lee, the Republican senator from Utah, is in the video hugging everybody. He just announced he's got it.
Mikey, Utah.
That's when it was getting fucking passed around.
Jim Jordan.
Saturday.
Jim Jordan.
Oh, I hate that guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He would be the best.
Yeah, it's like that guy who tried to storm the softball field, only they did it to themselves.
Oh, yeah, the guy from Florida, Matt Getz.
Yeah.
Is that his name, the shooter at the softball field?
Oh, no, I was thinking of the when they tried to storm the SIF room, and they went in with their cell phones and shit and ordered pizza.
Yeah, I think we'll look back at that guy who tried to shoot up the softball team as a hero.
He shot Steve Scalise.
Yeah, always bring another guy in, and that, I mean, I like to be a lone wolf myself, but I've found a pack is a stronger way to do that kind of violence.
Well, here's the other thing. Old men who play baseball have already taken themselves out of relevance. So you don't need to shoot those people. Just leave them alone playing baseball somewhere and don't worry about them.
Yeah, you want to shoot the soccer.
Those guys are still vibrant.
I don't want to
Spry.
shoot anyone. I want all the violent people, violent extremists, to get in a cage match,
I think part of the
fully
reason,
armed cage match.
part of the reason you got banned from Twitter is that not only did you say "die Trump die," but you capitalized the word "die" and put an exclamation point after it each time, which seemed like a real.
Yeah.
There goes
like
that
the
German word
declaration of intent.
defense.
Yeah, when you're writing in blood, you put exclamation points. That's the end of everything.
Yeah.
But it's
Exclamation point
it's not the kind of blood that I bring on somebody. It's the kind of blood science brings on somebody when they're coughing up their own. And as a, it's been a good day.
It's been a good day.
I followed a blood trail in my backyard and thinking, oh man, one of the cats is fucked up. And then I found a dead rodent. I guess Rue fucking lost interest and bloodied it and then staggered over and fell over. I don't know, but there was a blood trail and I was like, oh shit. And then I thought it might be me. Like, I had to check.
You were walking backwards.
Well, I was you walk around at night, might slice a hand.
Walking in circles.
This guy, as you're getting more and more woozy, you're like, man, this guy's got to be going down.
What are these vultures doing over here?
These
I'm just
vultures-
investigating. I'm investigating a blood trail and there's vultures overhead. This is so weird. Well, it's, this is not political, but this is my latest problem is, and I've seen it developing. I've had a woodpecker in a tree, a red-headed like woody woodpecker up there banging in my cherry trees, and which is cool, It's like it's nature, and it's I don't see a lot of woodpeckers, but now there's like 4 of them.
Yeah.
So the word is spread, and now I have a woodpecker congregation assembling in my tree, and I got to Google now that the yellow jackets are gone.
See what you've done? You've disrupted the ecosystem.
All right, the yellow jackets kept down the.
I think you might just be fishing for a woodpecker suit.
Yeah. I like watching. I do like watching them, but I think they're fucking up the trees. But I mean, like, I'm an old man. I don't know that I need to worry about it. It's like maybe that's another generation.
I would enjoy it. I would enjoy watching the woodpeckers work. That's how I would handle that. Bye, Carrie Mitchell. Say goodbye to Carrie Mitchell, everybody.
Some videotape. Bring a grinder.
Left Studio C.
Carrie Mitchell, bring a grinder, and I don't mean the app. Anyway.
Right, hang on, I'm going back in.
Andy, does he look like that?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah,
And
there's a
that
couple of
even
different
woodpecker-
ones. I didn't know.
There's
I don't know if
tons
your
of 'em.
backyard has any acorn
Mine's
trees.
got mine's more about drilling the tree as opposed to taking nuts.
Well, I mean, that's what they
Yeah.
do with the nuts. They put them in. Either they're getting insects or they're storing food.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, they're not tapping out messages to me?
No,
Oh shit! Really?
maybe Andy's is.
Yeah.
Beatboxing.
Uh,
By microdose, maybe they are. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you gotta be open to those possibilities.
you got to have your
Yeah.
fucking antenna tuned.
Yeah, get a Morse code guy over here. What's it saying exactly? What are we hearing? Da, 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 da. It says, "Die,
Make
baby, die.
America great.
Burn, baby, burn." I thought it was fun. I thought, but it wasn't like people said, "Oh, the president has COVID," and then I was insensitive enough to do that. I
Right.
did it in anticipation that he had it already, but it wasn't announced. So I kind of was in a real gray area of,
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it is. You're right. It's the algorithm. It's putting the words "die" in there like that. Like you just can't. It's too direct. I mean, Andy. You came to an orgy and you fucking ran in and fucking blew your wad all over it before it even.
Again.
Before the two sides even got going, and then they're like, "Get this guy the fuck out of this orgy. He can't handle it. It's too much."
Come on, guys, let me back in. I got a robe. Man, come on, I got some ecstasy. What? Come on, I got ecstasy.
I'll be cool. I'll be cool, man.
Hey,
I'll be
on
cool.
that, I was thinking, this is a kind of it's different subject, but Rick Moranis.
Yeah, I saw that.
Come on, hey man, I'm having a party. Come on, everybody, let's have some fun. What's going on? And he got cold cocked in the streets of New York.
That's
damn it.
fucked up, man.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing that happened today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a reminder that bad things do happen to good people more than they happen to bad people. You know, God damn it. This is one thing, but well, yeah, like Rick Moranis didn't deserve that. He got sucker punch, right? I didn't see the footage of it, but
Yeah, it was one of those. It was one of those things where it's a guy walking past him in the street, and then the guy just fucking jacks him
Yeah.
up
Mhm.
and then keeps walking.
He
Yeah.
may
Like,
not
it's
have
one of
even
those
known it was
weird
Rick
things.
Moranis.
of course,
Absolutely
doubt it.
not.
Yeah.
No, there's no way he did. It all happened too fast.
Listen,
Unless
he
it was
unless he was
unless it
walking
was a
around in a
series.
sweatsuit with his lower lip jutted out
Yeah.
and his hair spiked up.
What
he
if they
probably,
What if they zoomed in on him and it's Bob McKenzie?
you know who hit him though? This is the thing, and I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist guy, but it was Ernie Hudson.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's ghost busting. So it's I don't know. Did you guys watch the all girl remix of the Ghostbusters? Misogynist.
I didn't, but that's not why.
Yeah, it is. That's why
I didn't, but yeah, that's not why. I didn't watch it because it looks fucking horrendous.
Looks
It has
horrendous,
nothing
but
to do
it-
with it
but-
being
Right,
women.
I don't like movies.
Yeah, I know. I know. I don't. I can't watch. I can't watch anything in a sitting anymore.
Yeah, I don't like. I've always thought it was funny to me that Stanhope doesn't like music, and I never really understood how that was even possible. But then I realized after people kept talking to me about movies that I'm like, I never really actually saw that. Like, I don't like movies, and it's just like I don't care about. I've seen Ghostbusters. I'm not watching it again with other people in it. It's not
That
happening.
movie fell. That remake fell into the. Why are they remaking one that was so good?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the original, and not to take, because I haven't seen the remake with all the females, but I mean, not to take anything off that because it might be good. I don't know.
Leslie
It's
Jones
just,
is
I
the
wouldn't
dynamo.
need to see it. I know the best one has already been made with Bill
Right.
Murray.
But
Dan
they did
Aykroyd.
do. I don't know
Yeah,
what
I didn't-
status because I
I
don't
didn't
pay
watch-
attention. Oh, go ahead, Chad.
I was gonna say I didn't watch the new Pet Cemetery for the same reason. I don't
Yeah.
want to watch the new
Yeah,
like
I
Eric
just
says. I've
don't
seen
like
it. I
movies.
don't need to see it again.
Yeah, if they remake Platoon, fuck that, man.
I had to have Mitchell beg me to let us watch Invisible Man.
Oh,
And it
no.
actually turned out to be really fucking good. So
the newest remake that like came out in, like
Hey,
the
Brett.
beginning of this
that's
year.
really
Brett.
fucking good. It's
He's
really
right
good.
behind you.
See, that's the thing. That's why I said it, because I thought he might be. I thought he might be.
It's
He's
in
really
the
good at it.
cabinet. You know
He's
what
a
I
good-
found in my cupboard? Indians. Little
Elizabeth Moss is a tour de force.
Yeah, I liked her in the fucking Mad Men. She was, and she was downplayed,
Yeah. I would always rather than watch a movie, like just a Hollywood movie, I would rather watch like McMillions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I would rather watch like a 5-part documentary about some complicated scam someone was running that they figured out and how they figured it out, and then they caught all these people or whatever, something like that, or some sort of true crime thing. It's just far more interesting to me than, the Weekend at Bernie's remake.
Yeah, well, that's why the best TV, and they've ruined it, was breaking news. Now every fucking thing's breaking news, but it used to be for a long time. It was like breaking news, and you're like, oh shit, and then there'd be a police chase or something going on.
Oh,
and
real breaking news.
real
Yeah.
I thought it was a show that I had missed.
yeah,
I
it
think
used to be a thing.
I think Wolf Blitzer either he ruined it himself or he helped ruin it, but it was like, boom, boom, breaking
Right.
news. And it's
Yes.
man, breaking news is action, live
Right.
action.
Wolf is as much of a wolf as breaking news is breaking news.
Yeah. Well, you've never seen him in a full moon, have you? He might be legit.
Yeah.
He's as legit of a wolf as Lenny from the Laverne and Shirley.
Oh, I thought you were
Michael-
talking about
Michael McKean.
of mice and men.
Yeah, there's that
From
other
Lenny
Lenny.
and Squiggy.
He's I like him on the Twitter. He
Michael McKeon.
Michael McKeon.
I'm
Yeah.
hearing
Lenny is still your go-to Michael McKeon character that you say when you're bringing up Michael McKeon. You still
Right.
go with Lenny from
well,
Laverne and Shirley.
and I hug Bunny.
All the shit that guy.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Yeah, hey, they're doing a Spinal Tap get together.
Oh, really?
Raise money for Demis.
All chicks.
All chicks.
All chicks.
All
I would
chicks.
like to
Spinal
see a
Tap
Laverne and
remake.
Shirley remake with dudes. And the big Ragu is a fucking dyke. Big, angry, mean. Oh, that's a bad term. I'm sorry. Big, no, I don't even know what the new term for a tougher lesbian is, but it ain't dyke.
Oh my God, Chad! I just did a spit take with my ears. That was so funny. I pulled my earbuds out.
That might be wax.
It might be that too, for sure.
Hey, I got a cool package. I want from Gabriel Rivero, who sent me this shirt, this sign. It's Handy Andy. And I remember when I worked at the mill, and my dad used to do these. Was Horseplay Harry, but they had these posters at the mill that were Horseplay Harry, and you don't want to be Horseplay Harry. You can get hurt. You can hurt others.
Yeah, no horseplay.
But that's
Harry.
what that reminded me of, and then some like other cool stuff like Chinese Chinese pain patches, which I haven't got into yet, but I'm hoping to have some pain this afternoon. Some other
Be
cool
careful
stuff.
with that.
Seeds. Well,
Yeah, like Chinese
Dude.
fentanyl. What are you talking
Yeah, I
about?
was just gonna say fentanyl kills people, dude, and that's the problem.
no.
is You only need
Well,
a tiny
yeah.
bit of it for it to kill you, and you have no idea of knowing if it's there. So if you're taking painkillers, that's what
No,
that's what killed Tom Petty, man.
yeah, free falling. Oh, I won't put it all on.
But
all
you don't.
willy-nilly.
It's not, you don't even need to be Len Bias. You don't even need to be drafted in the first round.
He would
by
have.
the
I
Celtics.
think. Well, I think Lenny. I don't think he would have needed to score no 30 points a game. I think he could have just come off the bench and lit it up. and I
Dude,
think
six
Celtics-
man. Len Bias coming off the bench with McHale
Oh my
and
shit! Yeah.
fucking Parrish and
Rob
Bird,
Parrish-
and then
Parrish
Bias coming
sitting
off
on
the
the
bench
bench.
with DJ. Fuck me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pencil in 6 back-to-back titles for the Celtics. Nothing could go wrong here. Nothing could go wrong.
Breaking news from ESPN.
Cocaine claimed another victim off the wire. Cocaine murders another basketball player.
Back
Whoa.
when breaking news was breaking news, this from ESPN.
Yeah, cocaine brutally murdered another victim. Also pre-existing conditions, but cocaine. Yeah, they had pre-existing conditions when people died of cocaine overdoses. You know what? He probably had an enlarged heart.
Remember that the story was that Len Bias overdosed because he had never done cocaine before, and he was so excited about being drafted first by the Celtics that he went out and he bought some, and first timer's mistake.
Yep.
Then way,
If I had a nickel,
yeah, he went and bought like 3 8-balls of blow because he had never done it before, and he just wanted, he'd been drafted first, so he just could do a little. Oh, crazy.
Like a Tupperware party. I just went ahead and bought 37 containers because it was a better deal.
Yeah, and now I gotta sell Tupperware.
Damn it! Yeah, I know that's what happened to me in Alaska. I
that's
ran
what
up
happened?
against a wall and then I got a nosebleed. I hit the wall again. And ouch! All right, I know what I got to do. I got to get some more momentum before hitting the wall a third time. Yeah. Poor Lenny, first timers, fucking bad luck.
Yeah,
there's a long list of people who died.
that was a
in the
crazy
first
story.
time doing something like that.
Yeah.
Terrible.
1986. I wonder how many people who watched this were alive in 1980. Chad, how old were you?
1986. I was
11.
He was Len Bias's dealer.
I would have been 11 in '86.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dealing dope at that age, you gotta be ashamed of yourself.
Chad was a big boy at a young age.
Maryland.
He grew quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Lenny Bias is that seems like a fresh thing, but that's a long time. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
It doesn't?
To me, no,
Larry Bird
Well,
playing
19
basketball doesn't feel like a long time ago to
but
you.
that really well shit. I mean, but when you throw it down like that,
Well, that's the,
Like when you go back and count.
I
yeah,
tried
it
to sell
feels like
some.
a long
I tried to sell some Robert. I went out to Hartford, Connecticut when I thought I was going to move out there, engaged, and we are going to go East Coast with my career. Was going to take off comedy and such.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then I was selling some cards locally, some of my collections, and collectibles. And I went out to Boston or Hartford, Connecticut was where the gig would have been, and and I had a bunch of Robert Parrish rookie cards. I found them, dug them out, man.
Bunch of them.
I had 6 of them, is what I had. 4 of them, the corners were real sapped.
So you brought Robert Parrish rookie cards with
Yeah, I
you
got-
to sell to the.
Barter material?
because I knew
Yeah.
that's like I was in the business, sort of. I
Were
took
you
my
gonna hand them out as like when you met someone, like,
No,
hi,
I went
Andy Andrews,
around.
professional
No,
comedian,
I
and
went-
then you hand him a Robert Parrish rookie card.
At that point, I was more of a card salesman. Right now, I'm a T-shirt salesman. Back then, I was a card salesman, and there's this guy who's a nerd family, and in Coquille, the Wortnicks. They were tough guys, but anyway, their old man was a nerd, and he had a card shop. And me and my brother both took our collections over there, and he sold our cards for us. And he was totally honest. He would give us a breakdown. You sold to Wade Boggs. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, man. And I just got straight up went and got drug money. I would drive down there. It's when I was first married, and I was selling off my card collection to support a fledgling drug habit. And go, it hurt to sell my Dusty Bakers, but when I did, I got, some money, and I was.
Yeah,
I did
Dodgers.
the drugs. Dodgers, yep. And well, he was a Braves. Braves as a rookie. But yeah, I sold that shit, but then I needed that money, like I know that was fucking dough. So when I went to Hartford, Connecticut, I took Robert Parrish's, but the card guys aren't. I was dealing with Neil Wortnick's extremely over polite dad, and out in Boston, I was dealing with fucking cunts.
People from Boston.
Have you ever-
Con is a saft. $37. He's like, the con is a saft. Like, I don't even know what you're saying there, man. Corn is a saft. So I ended up selling all 6 of them to this dude who insulted me and made me real mad because I just wanted to score some weed locally while I was out there. My wife was out there for job interviews, and I was out there to try to get high. Yeah.
Wait, you went up there just to off some cards?
No,
You didn't have a gig or anything?
no, I didn't have. Well, had started doing comedy. That's when I was out and then my wife had this interview out in Hartford, Connecticut, and it was like,
Oh,
shit,
so you went with her.
I was gonna be East Coast.
okay.
I was gonna
Oh,
be.
you went with her. You
Oh.
didn't go by yourself with your
No,
Robert Parrish rookie
Yeah.
cards in your pocket like a.
No, I had other things, and then that's when when I went to I told you I went to we went to New York as well, and when I went to New York and that one coffee shop, people asked for a lady wanted to know if I was somebody and wanted my autograph, but I wasn't
Oh,
that
really?
person. Yeah,
I love that, like
Really?
before you go out on a trip, you make sure you have your credit card, and he just reaches for his Robert Parrish rookie
Yeah.
cards and goes,
Yeah.
ready to
No,
travel.
he looks to the closest city to where he's going. Like, oh, I'm
exactly. That's what I did. Yeah.
going
If
to,
I would-
I'm
yeah,
going to
no.
San Antonio. Let's
Exactly.
see. I know I've got some Tim Duncan rookies right over here.
Hey, you don't go to Milwaukee to sell Clyde Drexler.
Duncans.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't go to Milwaukee to sell your Clyde Drexlers, you know.
No way, dude.
Went out to Chicago and got some Scottie Pippen rookies.
Yeah.
Why not, man? It's like Xanax. Hey, oh, you got some uppers? I got some downers, yo.
And then you got screwed.
Yeah.
And he turned his
guy
sports
is a
cards
sap.
into he turned his sports cards into traveler's checks.
You got to sign both sides of the Robert Parrish card. Let's see.
But
It's
that's
got
the
to
first
match
time-
up. It's got to
that's-
match the other signature on the
That's
Robert Parrish.
That's the first time I ever got called out on not treating my cards well. You know, out in fucking the East Coast, and like them corners are sad.
What's
Ah,
that
that's
term you keep
sap.
saying?
He was trying to
Corners
say
are
the corners are
soft.
soft, like they're
Oh,
bent a little.
sap.
He just wanted to go.
The sap.
He just didn't want to pay mint condition. And I didn't want mint condition. I wanted a little bit less. You know, I was like, well, you're going to
Well, that's the
turn
cat
around
and
and sell
mouse,
this
Andy.
Robert
I
Parrish
think-
for $17, motherfucker. How
think-
about I get 14?
I
wasn't a-
I think maybe you've. First of all, I think we struck up upon the first part of the problem in your negotiation tactic is asking for less than
Yeah.
they're offering.
It's an
I think
Andrews
that's-
tradition.
They're
My
known
brother
for
sold
that.
a bike to a guy that I don't know, he talked somewhere like Craigslist or somewhere, and then the guy, and they met in public, and he goes, what do you want for the bike? And my brother goes, I want 50 or 40. David,
You
good
did.
sales. Yeah. And you know what the guy settled on?
45.
He went over. No, he went 40.
Oh, no. I'll take 50 or 40.
Would you take 65?
Nah, 30. Final offer.
That's if you got
It's a different strategy.
got a checkbook, I'll take way less.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Man, this podcast would be great if the president would just get coronavirus every week.
Well, see, we didn't need that, but you knew you were capital. It's like, hey, everybody scored Molly this morning. Let's check in with everybody. They might be in a good mood. Hey, Molly. Molly. Molly's on sale.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a good.
That is what it feels like, right? It does
Yeah.
feel like that. It's a
Huh?
celebration.
Feeling good naturally was all about.
I know.
I mean,
I
I
know.
hate edibles, and I'm enhancing it.
I
I'm saving
I
the
woke
fun
up
for later.
after hearing about it last night, and then just like I say, being awash in Twitter and just floating through it like a dream, because I drove back from San Diego. By the way, the show in San Diego, that was a whole thing. Like, where I was like, all right,
You went to a show?
I did a
Did a
show
He
You did a
performed.
show.
at the American Comedy Company in San Diego, which
Acme?
is a nice. No, that's not Acme. Acme's in Minneapolis.
Oh no, no.
This is the
American
American
Comedy, it's the one in the basement.
Company. Yeah, it's in the basement.
Oh my God.
But
that's
so
the
they did,
guy.
but they did the same thing that the Comedy Store does. I've been doing sets at the Comedy Store in the original room behind the window. So at the American Comedy Company, we were behind plexiglass, and then the
kidding.
audience. No, I'm not kidding. And then the audience is on the other side of it, and they're all separated out, and they're sitting there. So.
I'm trying to think of a town.
It was, I
in.
thought it was okay to do. Like I'm like, all right, I've been doing sets at the store, and that's the way they've been doing them there, just for the people out front, behind the window, because you can't have a live event in California. Live events are unacceptable. But if you're not on stage, it's not a live event.
Oh my
And-
God.
I can't remember where this was, but I remember. This is popping into my head. The garbage. Somebody's moving in. Anyway, it was a,
I
a
love
strip
that
club.
we keep talking to less and less of Andy's face as we keep moving forward.
It was a strip club. It was like a strip club in a back alley. I think it was a Montana gig. Like I left the hotel and I was like, "There's a strip club." Like what? Right there. And I went in there and there was the thickest bulletproof glass between you and the stripper, and she looked like she just had her ass beaten, like bruised and shit, barely able to shake it, you know. And but that's what comedy's gonna be like now. You'll just go into a creepy
Yeah, that is what
Yeah.
it is. But
Yeah.
you know what, Andy? Honestly, I think I've made this. I said this last night, and I've said it a couple times at the store. once you kind of get used to it, it's like it's not that big of a deal to me. Like I enjoyed it. I felt safe back there. I've always thought the audience was wrong anyway. So I don't need to hear any bullshit from them. I'm going to do what I do, and you can do whatever you're going to do over there. And that's on you, and I'll just do but like, so that screen, that covering, it's clear, but but just having that there allows that to happen for me. I was like, oh, this is perfect. Fuck you guys. I'm totally safe.
That's
interesting. It's like a chicken wire show. It's like a chicken wire show.
Yeah,
you never asked. Can't get you.
You're you never heard Jeff Healy going
shit, and it's splatting and fucking. You're like, fuck you. You can't get me, motherfucker. It's freeing. I've always thought the audience was wrong anyway.
You didn't see that scene in Roadhouse where Jeff Healy's like, take the chicken wire down. I want to get closer to the crowd. Take the chicken wire down. Yeah.
How did he know it was there?
He knew I was smoking weed. Jeff Healy. It's like, somebody smoked weed up here. You got.
They start to take the chicken wire down, and they realize it's a real hassle. So then they just tell Jeff, the chicken wire is down, dude. Lean forward. He leans forward, right, almost into it. Pull him back a little bit.
Erickson, I have a question about what you were talking about, because that's an interesting perspective that you had about how it's changed and stuff. But I would wonder if the crowds are like more receptive and better now, because you really have to want to fucking go somewhere to go do it. You know what I mean? It's not just a
Chad. Opening line was, "Thanks for coming." Normally, I don't mean that, but this time it's a heroic act. You're risking your lives for dick jokes, and it's a mistake, but I really do appreciate you being here. You've made a terrible error, but yes, I agree. What the fuck are you doing?
Somebody once told me the world was... It's Smash Mouth.
Well, here's the thing. I think that you have to, at some point, we have to do the things that, it's still opening up. It's going to open. So the idea is that you set it up properly. And I think that and that was a comedy company. In these cases, at least in these two cases, we're doing it right. Everyone was at least 10 feet apart, and you're separated from the actual people with the whole thing. I mean, I don't know.
I feel like eventually COVID will be like alcoholism. It'll be like, I lost another friend. I don't hang out. No, he's like, I just don't hang out with him. It's cool or whatever. But it's like, that's kind of the South Park thing. Didn't really have it didn't really have a conclusion or whatever. But it was like, you kind of got to move on. But also at the same time, people are dying. Well, it was in poor taste to have a COVID comedy special or whatever.
The reason I brought up you doing the show last night was that I drove home from San Diego last night. So it's a 2.5 hour drive back. And I didn't know that had happened. So by the time I got home, then I jump online and I see, fucking Trump has announced he's got COVID. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I woke Mitchell up and I'm like, check this out. And then for the next couple hours, I was just like, yeah. But when I got up this morning, like I like jolted awake, sober, oh man, like checking the news is just always a dour, sad, like trudge. Like it's the one place Mishka's songs are appropriate. You should be playing. It's like a dirge. You're just remember in Pink Floyd The Wall video when the faceless kids were just like trudging along the fucking factory line. Like that's what it's like to turn on. Oh, let's see what happened today. Oh, let me guess. The Department of Justice got away with another crime. Oh, the Attorney General just did something else that's definitely 10 felonies, but no one's going to say anything about, oh, great, fucking feels good. Make some coffee. Fuck yeah. But this day I already knew. I woke up and I already knew what the news was. I was like, oh, let's see what happens. It was like fucking Christmas.
Yeah. Even if it doesn't go any further,
yeah,
even if it's just to him like the flu and he gets better and then rubs it in our faces. But I feel like I'm going to let science do its thing. I feel
Again,
like
you're
he's
right.
an old man, bad shape. It's not going to go well.
Or you've been horribly tricked.
Or we've been
by a
horribly
political
It's possible.
trick.
The real
It's
test
possible.
would be is when he puts his tongue up Putin's asshole, does he have a sense of taste? Can he actually enjoy the taste of Putin's asshole?
I don't know what kind of voice you're trying to do right
I'm
there.
doing an
but I
Italian,
Oh, it was?
Oh.
white male.
Oh, it was?
Hey, Erickson, this is the only. Hey, this is the only picture I can find of the Comedy Store in LA.
Oh, yeah.
But this is like that's the glass that when you're in the showroom you can look out onto
Right.
Sunset,
So
right?
the comedian stands in that room behind
Inside.
that glass. Yeah, inside.
Yeah.
With a mic stand and a microphone. And obviously, if there's a mic stand, there's going to be a microphone there. Usually they go together. And then the audience is sitting in the seats right there. And then they have a camera on you. And there's a big screen TV in the back parking lot. You can see all the way to the back. Oh, that's tables all the way down the side.
along the back that
along the rail,
path,
along the rail
yeah.
there, and all the way
Walkway.
into the parking lot, which opens up into more parking back behind there. That's all tables.
that's where you get to the belly room upstairs.
Right, and the back of the original room. And the store was going to do shows out in that back parking lot by setting up a stage back there. And they even had approval from the city, but the health department said no, because you cannot do a live show.
Too many people.
You can't. Well, here's the thing though, Shaylee, like there's the way they have the table set up, there's no more than 6 people allowed at a 2-top. So that's a table for 8. And you can't have more than 6 there. Otherwise, you can't. Like, everyone's broken up. The sides are all broken up. So, but they say that if you add a stage and put a person on the stage, then that changes everything for some reason. Because meanwhile, right down the street, the Sunset Strip, right down the street, about 100 yards down the street, is fucking Saddle Ranch. And Saddle Ranch has turned their parking lot into the world's greatest outdoor Texas-style barbecue fucking park. And it's nothing but fucking like the white Christmas lights hanging in fucking streams over the whole thing. And it's fucking packed with people eating fucking Saddle Ranch garbage and drinking their shit. There's no live show going on, but there's 3 times the people doing 10 times the contact. So, what's the actual, I'm thinking
of a weird loophole. I don't know if it'll work, but what if the comics just stay inside and then they put a mannequin on stage that just sort of swivels, and then they do the live show from inside the club with an audience outside looking at a mannequin?
Like some kind of puppet?
Yeah, just the puppet. Yeah, like a puppet up on stage. So it's like there's no live performance, and the comics
like an animatronic. Like you're at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah,
and
probably make my wife, please.
And what part of town are you?
You could probably get some of those.
Do for a living?
Yeah.
I think we can do holograms now. I don't think we have to have a Home Alone mannequin.
In fact, because of that, Chad, we don't even need comics. We can do holograms. We can just do George Carlin.
Right?
We don't even need new comics. We've already got enough of everything.
Yeah. The rest of us should all just kill ourselves.
We should. We finished.
Yeah.
Our species got to the end of the game.
Well,
I love the setup though, Erickson, with the glass and then all the people like out front here. It really is like giving a microphone to a monkey at the zoo.
It's a very
behind the glass, and everyone's like pointing and.
It feels like you're a hooker in Amsterdam.
Are you an ape? Are you not an ape? Yeah. remember, Shayla, you were there for that Medford show. Me and I did. I was on the Stanhope show in Medford, and like Doug was clamoring in a window, and it did feel it had a
Wait,
very
Medford. No, I think Jim
Yeah.
Stopka was there.
No, it was me and Doug, and we both ran. It was the first time we ever like running cars, back it up, and like everybody, like I
Oh
ran
yeah,
out of.
you fucked up and went back to
It was
the
me?
back of the
Oh yeah,
the
but it was like
venue when you were supposed to go out front so we could leave, and I
I
had to go back in the store
yeah.
to get you guys, and then everyone came out to the car where we were, and we had to fucking like push through. Yeah, I remember that now.
I
Thanks,
remember.
Andy.
Well, I mean, I did like it's like you don't often
Wait, that
get.
sounds familiar. Was I there with Andy on that?
No, because
no,
we,
Doug-
you
No,
would have gotten to the
I-
car the right way.
I remember
But
getting locked out behind
that
a
doesn't
venue
mean
with
it
Andy
doesn't sound
once.
familiar.
I remember
Yeah.
Doug had a hernia surgery, and this was a horrible gig. And we were like, there was a guy
Like
who played
nightclub
like
with like beanbag chairs
yeah,
in
there
the
was a
front.
black dude, a lovable black dude in Medford, Oregon, which
Yep.
is not easy. And he was playing "Sitting by the Dock of the Bay" and such tunes. And then I had to ruin. I had to ruin the room, take it from a positive to a negative.
Well, you're
and
good.
and the room went downhill from there. And but I remember Doug had his hernia surgery, and he climbed up a window, like maybe in the corner, like Spider-Man, and he got up there and he couldn't climb down because I had to go hoist Spider-Man down. And but then the end of the
Like
show
a
ended
cat
with
stuck in a
like
tree?
like back your car up this way. We're gonna go out the back doors. I got confused, but we all ran different directions. Some shows go better than others, I say.
I think that was at the whiskey room in Medford, Oregon.
Maybe so. Yeah, I performed at Ground Zero in Medford, and it just keeps changing. They call it different things, but yeah,
Ground Zero.
yeah. That was the one where
Terrorist attack in Medford after they
that
hit
was
the
where that was the
Twin
room
Tower.
where that was the room where the musclehead said, "Hey, if you have any problems, order a club soda," and I ordered a
Oh,
club
yeah,
soda.
yeah,
Yeah, it was called Ground Zero. Like I have a good
I
history. with
remember
Med-
now. You're right. I remember that.
Yeah.
This is how royally it got fucked up. The exit was there was a like a vinyl table, like we do the merch on it. And when we got there, I'm looking around beanbag chairs and like velvet room, and I'm like, hey, yeah. And Doug's like, all right, yeah, we're getting out of here. No fucking merch, no nothing. And then as the show started, they were like sequestered off in this one weird area where like people could still see the green room, so it was uncomfortable. And then Doug's like, all right, when I'm done and I'm getting close to that 55, I'm going to just kill the show, run off stage, go outside before anyone
After
knows
a
what's going
hernia.
on. I'm going to run right outside, make sure that Andy and Bingo are already out there so that then we can just drive away, because it takes a little bit like clear up your check. Hey, are they doing merch, whatever? And Doug like does a sweep across the table, like across the General Lee for Dukes of Hazzard, across the hood of the car. He sweeps across the table, gets outside, and everyone's like, wow, that was a crazy exit. And then everyone's kind of figuring out is the show over? What's happening? And then I get outside. Our stuff's already in the car. We never got it out. And then we're sitting there like hunkered down, like, where the fuck is Andy and Bingo? And like now people are starting to come out, like looking around, like where did
Mad,
Bingo go?
pissed
Like it was a
off.
magic act. And then I had to go, fuck. And they go back in through the crowd to the back
Find 'em.
area of the patio. Get them, and then very, very like you couldn't really
Yeah.
tell it was us, with Bingo with her fucking
Yeah.
Carmen Miranda headdress,
Yeah.
and Andy, still trying to get drugs, go back to the fucking van and get out of there. So yeah, fun time.
Medford.
Someone's trying to get Frankenberry and Booberry out of the room through the entire crowd.
Yeah. After we already had the escape plan.
I can't. I now that I think about it, I've had a lot of good times in Medford. You put
Shout
an
out
all
to
package
Medford.
deal, yeah, man. Medford, and it almost burnt recently. It was on.
What's in Medford? Is there a college there?
Well, it was. I went to Southern Oregon State Community College in Ashland, but it was cheaper to live in
Ashland's
Medford.
north
Yeah,
there.
see, I love that
But
you
it was
think
easier
everyone
to
knows
get
the
college
context
chicks
of
in
what you're
Ashland.
saying. So is that a town next to Medford? So
Yeah.
you have
Ashland
to
is,
connect up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ash,
Yeah, it was real close to Ashland. I lived
Ashland's
in
the bigger
Ashland
town.
until I kind of got kicked out of. I mean, I had such negative rental marks that I went into Medford, other people's names and such. But
Yeah.
Ashland didn't end well. I mean, that was where that guy wrote that real negative letter about our party. We basically were shunned. I was shunned. I got kicked out of one place, and I rented another, and I got kicked out of that one.
Medford is known for peach orchards and vineyards.
You know who
Oh,
lived
pear. I'm sorry, not peach, pear.
Pears.
orchards
Yeah,
and
the Medford pears, the famous Medford pears.
Yeah.
You know who lives in that area?
Yeah,
Is
my birth mom.
Your birth mom.
Everybody knows that, but who else?
Yeah.
Shaylee's
I mean,
birth
everybody
mom.
does. And this was actually connected because Bruce Campbell lives there, and he's been over there to see Greg's mother a lot.
That might explain something.
But he lives out in that. Yeah, that's where I went to college, and I gained all this information and shit. I mean, that was one of the college stops. I went to 3 or 4 colleges.
Yeah.
I started at Lynn Benton Community College in Albany, and then I transferred credits to Southern Oregon State College, and then I transferred credits, but not many. I started losing it, and I went to Portland.
Wait, so you're on your 3rd community college?
Well, no, I went to one community college for 2 years. I went to community college for 2 years,
Wow.
and then I transferred 1 year's worth of credits. That's where I got real discouraged. Like, man, I'm trying to think of myself as a junior, but none of this shit even fucking comes close to that. Like, I was really more of a glorified freshman than and that's just heartening and expensive. And then
Yeah,
I started,
I get it.
I started a downward spiral, and one thing led to another. Anyway, I ain't got no degree or nothing.
How far are you from a degree, Andy? That'd be pretty funny if you finished your degree at this
that
point.
would be great.
I
In
got about
what?
4 years.
He's still a glorified freshman.
Always 4 years.
No, I think if you added it all up and got some real good fucking lawyer behind it, I might be a sophomore. It wasn't, I always looked at the drop day as oh, good, man, I'm not failing. I'm dropping all these courses. But then you're under credits and
Yeah,
Zero
it's an
by the net.
accomplishment. It's an accomplishment to drop the classes you need to drop before they hurt you badly. That's a true thing.
Yeah.
I did college for many years too, and that was a skill unto itself. You had to drop the proper classes because you had to keep a certain number of hours so that you could remain a full-time student, so that you could get whatever work study money you were getting or whatever. So you could only go a certain few. So there's a juggling act involved, and then you had to know when the last day was and come in and make sure you drop it on time, and everything has to go through. It's a very complicated process.
I think I'm only about 9 credits from finishing my bachelor's degree
yeah.
in human resource management. Yeah, but
We should all
did
get
this-
smart
I
as
did
fuck.
the same thing. Like, I tried to drop an economics class one time because I started it and I was like, hey, I told the instructor, I go, hey, I got to take some other sort of pre-class to this one because I don't understand a fucking thing that you're talking about. And he goes, can you read a textbook and take tests based on what you read out of a textbook and pass it? And I go, yeah. And he goes, don't drop the class. He goes, you don't have to understand anything if you can fucking read the chapters I assign and just fucking regurgitate the information. You can
That's
take
college.
the class. I didn't learn a
Best
fucking
and
thing.
brightest.
Yeah, absolutely, Andy.
I
was-
burned too many
when the-
candles or something that when it comes to them times. But yeah, the drop day was like, because you'd struggle. I was 17 credits sometimes or whatever, and then it was like, nah, I'm really more of an 8 credit student.
Yeah, 12 was as
8.
low as you could go.
Yeah, and then 12, but
And
I
still
would
be
do
full
12.
time.
I would do
Full-time,
12,
yeah.
but I would have to have a course where I just mail it in or cheated. But yeah, I was, I'm not saying I was a great student, but
No, and neither is anyone else.
We've already proved you're not a very good listener.
So am I the only person here with a bachelor's degree?
I have an associate in science. Associate arts.
I'm a bachelor's, dude. I'm
I-
a college graduate.
I have an associate degree, and I graduated Phi Theta Kappa from
community
local,
college.
Community college.
No
I
way.
never did any. I never had any honors, man.
No,
So
man, you got Greeks, you got Greeks in your community college.
It's a racket. They try to fucking get you
Yeah,
to pay
they're
money.
They're selling the
to do
certificates.
this thing.
They were
Yeah.
They were actual Greeks at Chad's
But I-
community
yeah.
college. It's a
Phi
bunch of
Beta and Kappa.
fresh off a boat
Those
from
triplets?
the Mediterranean.
Yeah. It's like when you that Who's Who book that they try to sell your parents in high school.
Yeah.
This book has your child's name on
Look
page
at that.
740
David
right here,
R.
and you only
Johnson.
have to pay $30.
Yeah.
I remember like a scam when my kid was little. We got her picture free or whatever, and it was like, oh, your kid could be a model, and not that my kid couldn't be. She's beautiful or whatever, but it's like they scam it. But I'm also wondering if maybe that ain't just a shopping network now.
That's
It's
a
like, oh, your
problematic
kid's-
area.
You think your kid's pretty? Well, let's see what the Republican Party thinks of your kid. If your kid ain't disappeared 3 years, it ain't that cute.
Does she like pizza? She's cute. Bring
Yeah.
her over to the pizza party.
Your girl's a real. I'll put her in the elite category. She's a pretty girl.
They did that with my son. My oldest boy was always really, every time we'd go get family pictures and stuff, they'd be like, "He should be a model. He's very, handsome looking guy." When he wrestled,
Swarthy.
all of his teammates called him Fabio, and
Oh, really?
yeah, so that was his
Yeah,
nickname in
that's-
wrestling. So,
yeah.
but then he goes, I'll be interested in that, Dad. And I go, all right, if you want to check it out. And we went to a thing like at the mall, and then he found out that you also have to have like a personality, and he's like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I did a more freelance course that involved massage.
Yeah.
It's like, I was
Andy
Two
actually-
majors.
Actually, if the two of them could have connected up, that would have been a nice combination because
had
Andy could spot hit your son's personality on the runway for sure. I mean, we've
Yeah.
seen it in the
That's-
picture.
Yeah,
already.
I could have coached
We're
him
all
up.
personality, but
You want to get a man or do you not?
They tell Andy, you could be a model. Andy just slaps Polaroids down. Bitch, I know. Look at this.
Yeah,
Got a
that was one of my.
portfolio,
I always wanted to get my catalog back. Like, man, I'm too late in the game to do gigs, but my catalog was
You can
hot.
consult.
Yeah, definitely. I could be the Johnny and Cobra Kai. Look at Erickson pros. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, he's
Whoa, you're back. It's live. You missed it, Erickson. It was so good.
I
So good. You're
know I froze, so I just decided to be still.
You Cartman.
I'll watch it later. Yeah, well, I'll watch it later. We
Yeah.
learn when to be quiet on this show, and one of those times is when you have a poor connection.
But you have a master's degree in comedy. So we got 3 AA. I got an AA of a degree of arts, but they never sent it to me. We talked about this, but
Wait, AA or an
I'm-
associate of arts?
so I think it's well, it's not the alcohol club.
You got an associate of the arts in the arts.
I didn't get recognized as an alcoholic till state college, but a community college. I got an AA. But I think I was there I think it's like basically you can get that degree easy. And so I got that but they never mailed it to me. So maybe sometime I'll go up there and just demand it, once COVID's over. I'll give me my degree. I earned it. I studied
They
a
just
lot of
mailed
law.
mine. I was two years out, and it's like, hey, you left this, and they sent it to
Uh-huh.
me, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Uh,
I was going to be a cop, so a lot of my classes were in law enforcement. So I
Oh.
should really be able to investigate where my
Yeah.
certificate went, or if I could get.
That was
Put
the
it to use.
final.
you got associate of applied arts to be a cop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I know.
If
I'm
that
surprised I'm
doesn't
not a
tell you that the
detective.
police need to be defunded, Andy Andrist was almost one.
Yeah.
I, my associate's degree is in business management, and I had to take a lot of legal classes that were interesting, but I didn't have to do any arts
Yeah.
to be a cop.
Yeah, I don't know how I got why they labeled it that at all. Like associates of arts, I thought I was in, I didn't take any like art classes. So, but anyway, I think, you got to
It's
put
split.
yourself
It's either
down.
arts.
It's the liberal arts.
It's the
Yeah.
art. Yeah. It's either arts or sciences.
Yeah.
That's the first split between.
And I
the
never
BA
two.
and
really-
BS is what you were going for.
Yeah. Obviously, I didn't pay attention, but I should have got a business degree because I worked with a crew of African Americans. They don't like to be called, but African American basketball players that
You
needed.
like to be called that.
Okay. Well, they did not like their current stats, and I was in a position to help them with stats to help
Uh-huh.
them, and they were in a
Yeah.
position to help me steal stuff in public. And I never asked them to do anything I wouldn't do. I asked them to be cover fire. Basically, you guys go stand over here, and I'm going to do all the stealing. And that's what made them like, are you kidding? Like, no, I'll steal. I'm very comfortable with it. All I need is you to stand over there and be
Ladies
innocent.
Are you saying black men had never met a white man more willing to steal than they?
I sent them over there to be a cover. Like, don't steal anything while you're working with me. I'll do all that shit. We'll split it equally. That's how it was, man. I was an equal opportunity employer, and I hired minorities specifically.
Well,
Yeah.
you saw a weakness in the fucking system and exploited
Yeah.
it, and that's
Correct.
just smart. That's just a
That's
smart
right.
businessman,
Yeah.
really.
Well, yeah, if they're gonna send any extra employees to go follow the black guys in the store,
Perfect.
Andy just noticed
Classic.
the
I
weak link.
Yeah, I think
absolutely
Clarence from
correct.
Alabama explained that situation. I was like, no kidding. And then I was like, well, let's go to Fred Meyer's. And then I was like, you guys hang out over there. I'm like, fuck yeah, man. That's before cameras, so it was all
Yeah.
about personal,
Try to
personal
look
responsibility.
suspicious without doing anything wrong.
Yeah, because I can look not suspicious. I can stand in the middle of a burglary. In fact, I have, and it look like I'm looking for the criminal myself or whatever, and I'm that criminal. I mean, I don't do it often, or I don't do it anymore, but that was my MO. It was like, but yeah, when Clarence explained that, like he goes to stores and they follow him around and think he's stealing shit, or fuck, and then I wasn't that smart, but I pieced that together. Like, man, well, Clarence, you go over there, I'll go over here, and that worked. It was like a split. You saw employees that weren't there before, and they followed Clarence. And they're like, fuck yeah.
Walking with their sandwich, they have to do it on the
Employees
break.
that weren't there yet.
Yeah, and
Andy,
Clarence
do you
would
remember what
always-
you were stealing at the time? What were you guys going? What was your grift?
Walkman,
Yeah, electronics.
Oh
electronics.
yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Because-
Walkman
yeah.
was cool, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
the Fred Meyers in Albany didn't have them under a case at that time.
They were in a
Just like-
blister pack, so they hung on the wall. You had to take them out of that blister pack, though, right?
Not you put them under your jacket.
Oh, yeah?
I
Yeah.
stole my first Walkman from Walmart. Same
I
thing. Opened
stole
up my jacket, dropped
You
it
know-
right in there.
I stole my first Walkman, like you know how like Sony makes kids
Yeah.
toys, and they're like, it's my first Sony.
Andrew,
I stole my first Walkman.
and what I preferred to steal in was a zip-up hoodie. 'Cause you could tuck the zip-up hoodie, and you could put a couple of electronics up under your armpits, and then a couple you just kind of tuck into the pocket zone. And
Uh-huh.
sometimes you get a little fucking crazy, and you tuck one into your back. You got to cut too many people in, you get a little careless.
Yeah.
So
True, you got to break
now
out.
the whole
And
now the
he's
whole
stealing
basketball
6 Walkmans.
the whole basketball team's now bringing in their friends and anybody they know, like, oh yeah, what do you need, man? My boy will steal it for you. Don't worry. Andy's got 19 fucking
There was a
hard
Native American.
plastic
There was a
things, yeah.
Native American who wanted in on the gig. That was a basketball player, and I was like, no, I don't. One, I
You
didn't
look
trust.
like
I didn't trust him.
stealing a picnic table.
Well, I didn't trust him, and I didn't see how that added anything to our thing. It's like we're gonna lighten it. Black
Andy's
guys.
recruiting. He's recruiting for the basketball team. He's on the sidelines looking at the guy and going like, "Yeah, how good are you at browsing but not buying anything?"
I didn't even know. Like I could have used this talent because I knew those guys were definitely way on the bubble of making Oregon State's basketball team. Like Oregon State put a lot of guys on the community college team looking for one or two gems, and all them guys who weren't going to make it to Oregon State wanted better stats. But I didn't like, oh man, we got to steal or whatever. But I didn't ask them to do anything that I would do all the stealing. I was very comfortable loading the bags up. Yeah. I mean, the best one was they would go into the sporting goods store and disable the beep beep and then go smoke weed with the guy in back, and then the white dudes would come in and steal the shit out of it.
Inside job.
Don't ever trust the white guy.
Ocean's 11.
I love that Andy never got caught for point gate. I mean, giving all the stats.
Imagine
guys, no one ever came back.
There have to still be records. Like the record for most rebounds in a season, all the records come from the same season.
Clarence,
season 1987. It's weird that the team was only 8 and 11 because according to their stats, they had four guys 30 points a game.
Clarence Witherspoon with 700 rebounds a game.
Guys pulling down 92 rebounds a game, and he can't get a scholarship.
Yeah, none of them guys hooked up to the big club, so I guess it didn't.
You'd figure someone from previous years would come back and go, "How are they beating? I'm at the games. I'm a booster. How are they beating all these records when I've been to these games? I hold the record from '81."
Can't be 150 rebounds on 45 shots. It just it doesn't matter how much
the math doesn't add up.
It can't. It's not possible.
Yeah,
like you've got like a whole thing on the chalkboard, like the simple mind. You're like crunching the numbers. Like it can't work out.
A beautiful mind.
Yeah.
In this case, it would.
That's what Doug did in the if Paul Prevents ever makes a movie. The ending beat that Paul has is Doug flubbing that line. It's a beautiful mind. It's like watching Andy's beautiful mind, but he said it's a wonderful mind. And then Paul's like, oh man, it's like that's a perfect ending point, but he said it wrong.
Yeah. Well, I guess he should.
So that's perfect.
Paul should work on the rest of the film then.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's got the end
Spent
finished.
a lot of time to make that one edit.
He's banging out this comedy special. So
yeah, I know. I look forward to that.
And I think he's immersed himself. I sent him 2 shirts. I sent him both of my shirts that are for sale on something.com. And
aren't they? Wait, aren't they on naturejack.com?
No, can't do it because.
Oh, we can't do it?
Set up a storefront.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
No, I've got naturejack.com. I've got to build the site to make a site before. So it'll be later today, but like right now, I can't put a picture of it.
So DougStanhope.com, maybe.
No.
No.
I'm just saying that's why it's not up right now because I was doing it.
He's saying no.
I was putting the site together when I got the message that we were going to podcast today, so I had to stop what I was doing.
If you see 5 black guys hovering in one corner of a store, you can find my shirt available out back. White guy will be selling it, going, it's sort of legal. Yeah. Anyway,
but Andy's website is so hard to. It's iwapodcast.wixsite.com.
How about this?
Issues with
How about
Andy.
this? No, how about this then? How about this? This is a doable workaround, I think, for the time being, till we can get everything set up. What if, Andy, would you be willing to just send shirts to the people who Venmo you the money and their address?
Yeah,
okay, so just do that.
As long as they include their size, otherwise I have to get a hold of them, which I do.
Your size and their home address,
and that's it. Yeah, PayPal and the Venmo. I've been sending some out. Like honestly, it's a lot of work to address envelopes and shit. Go to the post. You know, I mean, it's like that's a full-time job. It's like you got to write
Yeah.
7 addresses. That's a day.
That's a day. You got to make sure they're right. Like you got to
But
go
what-
over them like so
Yeah,
many times.
and then you got to look and to get at glasses to look and see if you got the shirt size right. That's set up with the
Yeah.
order.
And then you put the shit in there, and then you think, oh wait, did I actually accidentally put the medium in that one and the XL in the other one? Now you got to get it back out and look at the tag.
Wait, there's
Oh,
no
it
labels
was-
on all these shirts.
But wait, no. Usually it's like, oh, I already had it all
And-
exactly
and
right, but
at
I
the
still
same
pulled
time-
it all apart and
Yeah,
had to
and
put it back
At
together.
the same time, doing all that crazy work, I'm also drying marijuana. So I'm like being pulled in so many different directions, yo. It's like I don't know what to do with it. I don't have no free time. If I do have free time, I steal away while the pot's drying to smoke some.
Drying marijuana is definitely a busy activity that takes up a
Yeah.
lot of your attention.
I'm Integrity Farms and Tally. Oh
Wait,
man,
drying
I don't know.
marijuana. Maybe I'm missing something here, guys. Drying marijuana is laying marijuana or hanging it somewhere and then walking away, right?
I gotta put a heater and a fan in front of it at times.
Oh, so are
Moving in
you
at
stoking
night,
the fire? Is that how you're?
trim leaves.
And Andy basically said he's busy watching paint dry,
Yeah.
Haley.
No, listen, Shaylee, if it was that easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the walking away part that's so hard.
Yeah.
You gotta have integrity.
So you see the rub. Therein lies the rub.
Yeah.
So,
Integrity.
so basically, just to simplify this whole thing, I talked to Brittany. I'm just going to put a link. I'll put a link on naturejack.com that'll go straight to Andy's Facebook,
Storefront.
which that's another problem. Your
That puts
commerce
you
is
right
through
into my
Facebook.
store.
So you have to join Facebook and log in to even go to get to the store. So I'll put the Venmo up there as well, Erickson. You're right.
Um,
So people have different options to buy
yeah.
these shirts.
The store is open, like the tubs and the envelopes. Some of them I have my
You have
address.
to jump through
I
all
have a
these
lot of-
hoops just to get to it, and you don't even know where
But
it's at.
Here's the beautiful thing: if you can find a way to order, I fill them almost immediately because I got nothing going on, man. Like, oh, here we go.
7 a day. 7 a day is the
7 a day.
limit. You get
Yeah.
yours in, and it'll go in with the nearest 6
Fill that
around
tub
it.
is once that tub is empty. All them tubs, you know.
Once that tub is empty, the special comes out. So
No, the
let's fucking
special
make
yeah,
this shit happen,
okay,
guys.
All right, yeah.
Let's get
Let's
these
get rid of
fucking
them.
things moved. Come
Yeah.
on.
And also, though, you know, with all this toxicity in society, you know, people need to be reminded to go out and jerk off in the woods and not have sex with another person because there's no resources. There's not going to be clean air. There's nothing to do. So don't make a baby. Jerk off in the woods, everybody, and get a shirt to wear while you're doing it. You know, it's not. It's
Wipe
cool. To
up.
wear. Yeah, you can take your shirt off and walk back Mishka style. Tuck it into your jammies or whatever.
Oh, fuck.
You're a morning
Ah.
jerk.
Andy, I love you. I love you
This-
guys, Shaylee and Chad. When this all happened today, I woke up and I thought we recorded a show the other day, but it already feels like who wants to hear what we thought about something that's now so long ago that no one's talking
Hopefully
about.
they listen. It's coming out. Has it been out? Is it out?
It should be. It's not out yet, but I might just I'm going to put this straight out. I'm just putting this out.
Straight out for you.
Yeah.
Mike Pence, our new president. Straight on for you. The straightest man in America.
That'll keep you on Twitter, my friend. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. And thank you guys out there. Like and subscribe to our channel. That's Andy Andrus. That's Chad Shank and Greg Shaley. I'm Brett Erickson. We'll see you next time.
Down. Burn it down. Die, pigs.
And he's trying to get kicked off YouTube.
What? No.
We'll cut it right when the P sound starts. That's when it'll fucking hard edit out.
They'll kick me out if I start encouraging black voters.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.